So, being a Martin within Flintco, it's enormous shoes to fill. There's been a lot of Martins that's worked through Flintco in the 114 years that Flintco's been around, all the way since it was Tulsa Rig Reel. My great-great-grandfather, and his name was Robert Martin, and then my great-grandfather, his name was Robert Martin. He went by Bob Martin. And then my grandfather, he went by Bob Martin. His name's Robert Martin as well. And then two great uncles, Jerry Martin and Ralph Martin, along with two second cousins, Steve Martin and then Kevin Martin, and then Dad, who his name's Bobby Martin as well. Two uncles, Wes Martin, who is the superintendent for us, and then Scott Martin, and then now myself, Bobby Martin.
Was there crossover between him and then his son, and were they working together for a period of time?
Yeah, each one of us has been that way. With him and my grandpa, they worked together, you know, like crossing over down through the years with my dad and him and all his two brothers, my uncles. They all, my grandfather was still with Flintco then, and my dad, I became a superintendent with Flintco while he was a superintendent. But yeah, we've all crossed over, now Bobby and me. I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to hang around long enough for his child, but I'm sure them two can cross over.
I've been asked this many times from my family and from my wife and her family and all this stuff, that if the day comes that I have a son, if I'll name him Robert Martin, that he'll go by Bobby. And yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. I don't think I can break the tradition. It's a long-standing tradition that I just don't want to be to break it. Maybe if I have a son, he can break it one of those days, but I don't think I'm going to be the one to do it.
This particular wall brings back a whole lot of memories to me, in particular, starting with this building right here, this model of this building, this reading base. I was on that job for almost 3 years from the ground to the top of it. And that's kind of another thing that I've always kind of prided in, that, you know, driving around and you know, you can see the buildings that you put in place down through the years. It's been a great, joyful ride. I couldn't think of doing anything different. I mean, I really couldn't. It's just, you know, something that stands the test of time, and it's kind of like all these buildings are like monuments to all the people that worked on them. You know, a few years ago, Flintco come up with the Flintco for Life. When they first come up with that, you know, I kind of thought, stands true for me, because I have been Flintco for life. Right now, it's hard for me to even think about retirement, because it seems like just yesterday I was getting my driver's license. So I mean, it's hard for me to think that I'm almost to that point. But once I retire and leave, you know, it'll just be my son Bobby. He'll be the one left to carry on our name and legacy with this company.